Alright, so we're back, of course, to talk about some FF7 Rebirth. We're here to discuss this supposed release date leak for the game. Also, I want to briefly touch on a little bit of Ever Crisis stuff because there is a stamp logo that people have seen in, I guess, the closed beta, and people are talking about it a lot, and I figured I'd give my thoughts on that. So, in terms of a release date for FF7 Rebirth, there's not a source that I've been able to find for this. There's just Twitter accounts that are saying that, according to a rumor that I can't track down, that the game is supposed to release January 31st of 2024. As of right now, I've seen 2 Twitter accounts tweeting about it. There was this gaming account, however the fuck you say their name, and there was Zuby Tech, who both tweeted this out, and neither of them linked to anything. Never confirmed a source. I think Zuby Tech said that they'd seen it on Reddit, and they would provide the link if they could find it, and never provided said link. Now, it's entirely possible, of course, that if this did originate on Reddit, that the moderators would have taken it down, because that's probably a post that they would delete. But still, they never provided a follow-up on either of these accounts to link to any source or anything like that. And that's kind of my biggest problem overall with any of this, is there's not a link to a source. It could be anything. If you just provided me a link to, a fucking Walmart online store from some random-ass country that had, a placeholder date of January 31st, it still has some merit. There's something there, but it's just people saying shit. It's just people saying, the game's releasing on January 31st, according to a rumor. A rumor that seems to not exist, that I can't find. As for the date itself, when we first seen these tweets going around, obviously a lot of us are making fun of it. You know, what's the source, bro? Where's the link to something? Also, generally speaking, when something has a date of the 31st of any particular month, it's almost always a placeholder date, right? That's generally the case. Most games, if they're say a game's going to come out, 2024, and we don't have a release date or window yet, the release date on most websites would be December 31st, 2024, because we just don't know yet when it's going to happen. That all said, there is, of course, a bit of merit to the date itself, January 31st. And that's something that some people are ignoring that are wanting to, trash this rumor. Even if the rumor's not true itself, people are like, it's a placeholder date. And it's yeah, maybe. But also, the original FF7 released on January 31st, 1997. In Japan, of course, but still, I think the date itself is a distinct possibility. We just don't know. All we know is early 2024, right? Based on the Summer Game Fest show. That could be anything. That could be January, February, or March, or maybe even as far as April. It depends on what they consider early 2024. And I know that January 31st is a weird-ass day of the week for 2024. It's a Wednesday. But still, the anniversary of FF7 is more important than the day of the week. Again, I'm not saying for sure that this game's coming out January 31st, 2024, but if they wanted to drop it on that particular date because it's the original release date of the game in Japan, then the day of the week wouldn't fucking matter. So I don't think that's an argument or anything. It's weird. That's pretty much it for this particular part of the video, this discussion. There's not much more to say about it. Normally, we wouldn't even make a video about this because there's just nothing to really talk about. But we also haven't uploaded on the channel consistently for a week now, right? Because of problems. So I kind of just want to put a video out. As for the stamp logo shit from Ever Crisis, for one, I don't know that I can show it in a video because for starters, I'm not even actually a part of the closed beta. But also, you're not allowed to share shit commercially is what it says in the guidelines. So because my videos are monetized, I don't even know if I would be allowed to show it. The guidelines also talk about not showing spoilers, and what a spoiler is varies from person to person. So I don't even know if it's worth it. It's just not worth possibly getting the video or channel in trouble. Anyways, I can link to a Reddit post that has the image in case you guys haven't seen it yet, but it has the 3 characters from First Soldier, Matt, Glenn, and Lucia in a helicopter, and there's a poster on the wall of the helicopter or some shit that's the stamp logo, and it's the Beagle logo. Exciting. Because I've seen a lot of people putting, a bunch of stock in this, but it doesn't really mean anything because the Beagle logo's been there since, the beginning of the Wutai War. If I'm not mistaken on, the lore for the stamp logo, right? And I believe the Ever Crisis shit for First Soldier is happening in 1992, which is exactly when the Wutai War started. So, yeah, of course there would be a Beagle stamp logo. Again, I just feel there's nothing interesting here to talk about. If we're seeing First Soldier shit that's taking place 15 years in the past, and we're seeing the Terrier stamp logo, okay, now we have something to talk about. There's something interesting, but this is in the past when the stamp logo was kind of created. Yeah, of course. It's like playing Crisis Core and being holy shit, Zack's alive. Yeah, of course he's alive. It's in the goddamn past. Again, I just feel it means nothing. I just think people are just so desperate to talk about remake-related shit that they're latched on to anything they see. They see the fucking dog and they're holy shit! Timelines or no timelines. I don't give a shit. It's just kind of a tired conversation at this point, dude. It's been almost 4 years now, and it just gets so boring to talk about because we still have no answers for anything. We're going in circles, whether there is or isn't things happening. I'm so bored of it, dude. It's one other fucking trailer. So tired of talking about Stamp. Anyways, let me gather myself here. That's pretty much the video, though. So what are your thoughts? Does the Beagle fucking logo And Ever Crisis mean anything to you? Is that really important? Are you excited to see that, to hear about that? Is that riveting to you? Is that awesome? And also, what are your thoughts on the supposed leaked release date for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? January 31st, 2024. I think it makes sense, but that could also be why the rumor's fake, right? That's the original release date, so of course, like, if I'm faking a leak, I would potentially use that date. But also, it's probably just a placeholder date. Like, that's realistically what it is. But I think there is a little bit of merit, of course, to the date itself. But I don't suspect we'll get it that early. I don't think we're going to get it in January. I would suspect a little bit later, maybe even around March. Either way, that's the video, my dude. Subscribe to you guys. Our new social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @DavidYT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.